They say learning a new language can open up a new world. If this is true, how much could we lose with some Philippine languages at the brink of extinction? The documentary Hulagway explores two of them and the importance of preserving the country's culture. Let's find out more from director Alvin Yapan. He joins us now via Zoom. Good evening, Direct Alvin.
Hi, good evening, Mai.
Okay, let's talk about what inspired you to make this documentary about the two endangered languages, Dupaninan Agta, Isabela of Isabela, right? And Tandulanen, Tagbanwa of Palawan.
Actually, this project started when the National Commission on Language and Translation approached me. NCLT is one of the committees under the Subcommission on Cultural Dissemination of NCCA. They approached me to produce and direct a project, a film, a documentary on the endangered languages of the Philippines. I think this is their effort to contribute to the project of the United Nations to raise awareness that there's such a thing as endangered languages all over the world. Because back then, I think it was in 2019 when United Nations declared that 2019 could be the year of the International Year of Indigenous Languages. In fact, right now, we're here from the period of 2022 to 2032. They also declared it as the decade of endangered languages. Why? Because they estimate, I think, the next century, 2100, they estimate that around 50% of all the languages, the spoken languages all over the world, will already be endangered, will already be declared extinct or endangered. So that's a scary reality that we are trying to prevent. So that's why, again, this is the NCCA's effort to contribute to that project of the United Nations.
Right. And kudos to you for making this documentary. Well, you described the making of this film as the most physically and mentally challenging of all the films you've done so far. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, because the physicality of itself, of the production itself, I mean, we had to walk 4 hours just to get to the location and then another 4 hours to get back. And I mean, if you're going to ask me to reshoot this again here now in 2022, I don't think I'll be able to do this again because, you know, it's age. So I don't think physically that I will be able to do this again. And of course, thank you to Sue Prado and Karil Almonte, the two actors who actually said yes when I invited them to come with me in this journey. So, and of course, in terms also of the research, I had to research so many books, dictionaries, grammar books on the different languages in the Philippines, not just the Dupaninan Agta and the Tandulan and Tagbanwa. We actually proposed 9 languages that we can actually promote in this documentary, but because of the budget limitations and the time limitations and the pandemic happened, we were only able to produce 2. So it's physically taxing, and at the same time, the time and the effort to research on this, and it's really difficult to pull off. So hopefully more people will be able to see this.
Right. But you described a meeting with the communities as rewarding. Can you share that with us, your experience meeting with these communities in Isabela and Palawan? What have you discovered about their culture?
Yes, I also have to thank the efforts also of the NCIP, the National Commission on Indigenous Peoples, who assisted us in this project. And we discovered that among the Dupaninan Agta, they have so many words that actually describe the experience of walking. And in top universities abroad, you would actually hear of courses where they study the act of walking. And it just saddens me that here we have an actual culture that actually their language focuses on the act of walking, and I hope more people will be able to study this aspect of the Dupaninan language and can contribute to this ongoing discussion all over the world that on the relevance of walking actually. And in the Tandulanen Tagbanwa language, we discovered so many expressions, so many phrases that they actually use to to distinguish between the real and the unreal, the imagination and the real. And since we are living now in the age of what we call post-truth, I suppose the Tandulanang Tagbanwa language can contribute a lot in how we look and how to deal with this age that we are living in now.
Yes, I can imagine the materials are so rich, right? But sadly, several Philippine languages risk extinction. So tell us about this advocacy to preserve them, and what is their importance to culture, society, and history?
Yes, actually, when we talk to the communities, the Dupaninan and the Tandulan and Tagbanwa communities, their only request actually is to help them develop teachers in their language. A Dupanin, for example, a Dupaninan teacher who will teach Dupaninan in their community, and a Tandulanen teacher who will teach Tandulanen in their community. Because I think that's the problem why their language is dying or is becoming endangered, because there's actually a lack of teachers proficient or even knowledgeable about the workings of their language. I mean, they use it orally, they talk to each other using their language, but in terms of the preservation of the language and really going into the theory of how their language works, they don't have that. So I hope more organizations will be able to show interest in this line of research and help them in this effort, really to educate their own community in their own language.
Well, they say language is the soul of a culture. So what more can Filipinos do to gain awareness on aspects of Filipino culture that are endangered?
Yes, I suppose the only thing to do is to educate yourself, to study yourself, to study our own culture, because the Filipino culture is not just one culture. This is the diversity of our language is so rich. I mean, we have 180 plus languages here in the country alone, and if 50% by 2100, 50% of this 187 language is estimated to die by 2100. I mean, I think it's our responsibility to prevent that from happening. So what do? We study our own, and we show interest in these languages, and we show interest also in how we can move forward with a diverse culture and not just one culture.
Well, good luck on the documentary. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for showcasing the beauty of words.